Insider presents Geek Speak with Matthew Harris and Meredith Lachlan. We cover entertainment, news, and tech with special guest appearances. So sit back and enjoy as we geek out together right now.
And it helps if I remove the little thing from in front. And as you can see now, oops, I'm by myself. Meredith has left. Now I can't even find. There it is. Good gracious. And I do usually run this thing, but it's so different on this side of the world. But Meredith is not here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. She may show up here shortly. She is in Florida, and she had some storms earlier, and so she was she's booting up now, actually. But so she'll be here in just a moment, and we don't have any special guests tonight. We do have a few things that we want to discuss. Let you guys know about some stuff that's coming up this next weekend, not this weekend coming up, but the last weekend of the summer. And then some exciting news about this show, Geek Speak. I'm going to give it a few minutes here for Meredith to get in so that we can kind of go over all this stuff together. But it's some really exciting stuff. And you know, one thing I wanted to say, if you missed last night's Geeky, Cheeky, and Downright Freaky, it is up on the YouTube channel, the Geek Insider YouTube channel. And I actually had Pastor Luke Stone on last night, and we were discussing the Mandela effect and perceived changes to the Bible. And it was a very interesting conversation. And in fact, he changed mine and my wife's views on a lot of the perceived changes in the Bible. And so it was a very interesting show. So if you haven't checked it out, be sure and do so. If you hadn't subscribed to the Geek Insider channel, be sure and do so. Because this next week, we are going to have some changes to the show. We will still be here on Thursday nights at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Usually with special guests, musical guests, comic book insider stuff. But we have a special, we're going to be broadcasting on a different night as well, on our YouTube channel, on our podcast the following day. But we're also going to be located a couple of new spots, and that is one of the announcements. But right now, for this next weekend, for those of you that are into creating your own comics, or you know somebody that is, if you haven't heard about it, we're going to be doing another indie event, and it's going to be both Saturday and Sunday. And you can get involved here, and actually, we're going to have an action alley this time, where you'll be able to sell your comic books. And for those of you that love comic books, you're going to be able to come in and be able to purchase some comic books. So I'm going to let Meredith explain it in her own words. Here, check this out, y'all.
Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Lachlan, and I'm the project coordinator for Indie Vent. This is under the Comic Book Advocates Network, which is the comic book arm of Geek Insider. And we've got a special end of summer bash scheduled for August 29th through 30th, 2020. We're doing things a little bit differently this time. We've got a true selling component. And it's actually really easy. So I'm going to explain that in this video. So on Sunday, August 30th, it's going to be dedicated to blocks of time, where our comic book creator friends can submit their promo video. This video can be repurposed from your Indiegogo or your Kickstarter. And if you don't have promo video, you can actually take your phone or a video camera and create one. All you have to do is basically pick up your books, talk about them, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, and have some fun with the video. Then you can submit that to me.
Now, you can see the rest of that video on our Facebook, on the Geek Insider Facebook, as well as Meredith. I think she posted it to hers as well. But we are going to have a whole weekend going the 29th and 30th. Just one second here. I'm going to try to share my screen. There we go. And if you just go to indieevent.com or independencecon.com, but it's just INDEEVENT.com, you'll see that we're having the end of summer bash. You can click on enter, and we're going to have, you can host your own panel, be a part of a panel. We haven't listed off the panels yet. That'll be coming this next week, but you'll want to watch this page for any of the guests that we're going to have, and for those folks that do sign up. And then here we can go with that magical little mirror effect. But anyway, so that's going on next weekend, and that's Meredith and Rob over at the Comic Book Advocate. They've been putting this one together, and they just kind of point me in the direction, tell me when to be there. But because we do have a lot of other stuff going on. I'm still waiting on Meredith. I know she was just booting up and getting signed in, but I want to wait on her to make the big announcement. But let's see here. Oh, if you haven't already done so, folks, sign up. If you go over to wildoneforever.com, that's WILDONEFOREVER, forever. If you go over there and you sign up for the mailing list, you can be entered into a contest to win this $200 ladies watch. And it's really nice. Let me see if I can just pull that up real quick. Yeah, right there. That's the watch. And so if you go to Wild One Forever, and that site, it's empowering attitude and lifestyle for women. It's a women-centric, but not a women-exclusive site. But there's no purchase necessary. All you do is just sign up for the mailing list over there, and you're going to be entered in to win this nice watch. And they were going to draw that, I believe, just sometime right after the 1st of September. So anyway, so next weekend on the 29th and 30th, we've got the new indie event going on. If you want to be a part of it, you can contact Meredith. I would go to the Geek Insider Facebook, watch the rest of the video because it's really cool. You're going to make a Q code to be able to sell your comic books rather easily. And then for those of you that wish to purchase them, it's going to also be really easy to get involved in these. Also, if you haven't done so, our friend Luke Stone, I mentioned him earlier, he did just start the Hybrids Indiegogo account. And guys, if y'all haven't checked that out yet, I strongly suggest you do. We'll have an article up on it, I'm sure, this next week. But it is about the sons of angels that had sex with humans and the kids that they had. It's really wild. It's beautifully drawn, great story. And another one I'm looking forward to. And what they've done is they put it together in a trade paperback. So you get the first 5 issues along with some extra stuff that they put together. And again, if you just go on Indiegogo and look up, doggone it, it's not Hybrids. Shoot, I spouted off at the mouth without having it down. I'll get Meredith to say what it is here in a minute when she finally makes it in. Wait, there it is. It is Hybrids. Thanks, Pops. Pop says Indiegogo Projects, Hybrids, The Sons of God's Trash Day graphic novel. There you go. See, I was on the right track, but then I started second guessing myself. It is Hybrids. And so anyway, check that out. It's like I said, it's another one of those books that I'm looking forward to. I don't push, trust me, folks, we don't push every project that comes across our desk because we get a lot of them. Only when one really catches our eye, especially if we like the people involved, then that's when we start pushing it as well. And definitely enjoyed speaking with Luke both about his comic books as well as what we discussed last night on the Geeky, Cheeky, and Downright Freaky. And so just be sure to check out Hybrids on Indiegogo. And there she is, Miss America.
Oh my gosh. So we just, the storms aren't finished over here. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The storms are not done in my area, and my dog just had a seizure. So sorry I'm late. Yeah.
Is she okay?
Yeah, she's okay. She gets this every once in a while. A lot of times it's when she gets into some of the really like if she carries some of the branches and things that she finds in the yard and it's got mold or whatever on it.
Right.
When she starts playing with those, I notice that it kind of tips off seizures. So I don't know. Maybe we need to clean up the yard. I don't know what she got into, but she's okay now. She's resting.
Yeah, I had a little poodle mix that he would have seizures back in the 70s, and we had no freaking idea what that shit was. I just thought the dog was a spaz. And it freaked me out because it would totally tense up. It would kind of go curl into a ball, and it was horrible. But anyway, welcome. Hopefully you can stick around with the storms. I haven't let all of the cats out of the bag. I discussed next weekend a little bit. I played just the first minute of your video for Indie Event.
Okay.
And then told everybody to go over to the Facebook so that they could see the rest.
Yeah.
Then we talked about Luke and I meeting last night, and what we discussed. That was a really good show. I hope you guys do that again. Oh, we are. We're going to do another one where we just discuss the Mandela effect, as opposed to the Bible changes, because both Brenda and I said he changed our mind on those Bible changes.
Okay.
But I blew his mind with a couple of the Mandela effects that he wasn't aware of. And he's like, wait a minute. He really looked at me. He went kind of blank when he's like, wait a minute. You mean Louis Anderson's alive? I said, yeah.
Wait a minute. Mickey Mouse doesn't have suspenders? What?
Yeah, exactly.
I remember watching that, yeah.
So, we'll have a good time.
So I do want to mention Indie Event. I don't know how long I can stay here because I think I might have double booked myself. I don't know. So sorry if I'm running late to somebody else. It's just been really a crazy week, and I barely know what day it is. But Indie Event is happening next week. It is from August 29th through the 30th. I do have a video here. It's kind of an instructional video. It's the video that I really want some of our creators to send me their information because I want to have you involved. We want as many people who are in this Saturday show, and we definitely want to have more live streaming on the Sunday show, but there is a selling component. And I don't even want to let everything out of the bag tonight. We're just teasing more of it because I'm going to be on the Comic News Wire with Rob Anderson tomorrow, and we're really going to go in depth with how Sunday is going to work. So the thing is, the instructional video, there's a QR code that's been floating around that's going to get you to the Indie Event site. You can look right here. INDEEVENT.com is going to get you over to the website as well. Look through the FAQs, look through the instructions. The video that we're probably going to play is there as well.
I played just a portion of it a minute ago.
Yeah. There's a lot of components in it, and it's supposed to be fun and interactive and things, but we really want to try something new. I mean, this is completely new, and we want to sell books. We're trying.
And and the big thing is folks, yes, we've done a couple of the quote unquote virtual cons. We did the Indie Event a couple of months ago, and this is an end of summer bash, but this isn't going to be like the other ones. This one is comic book focused. We may have guests, but it's not going to be, folks from Full Moon or Hulu or Amazon, those kind of things, unless it is strictly comic book related. In which I really don't see that happen unless we get somebody from The Boys, for the Amazon Prime show. But anyway, so it is going to be comic book, and that's a huge thing in the geek world is the comic books, and we definitely love the indie comic book producers around here, whether they are the pencilers, the writers, the colorists, or just the idea person behind it all. We love the comic book aspect, and that's what this Indie Event is going to be all about. We do have another one planned in September, October, which is already starting to get some pretty good words behind it and people that are interested in it. And so definitely looking forward to that one as well. But this one is definitely going to be about the creators and those that have comic books to sell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So definitely check out the website, indievent.com. There's a longer URL also. If the short one gives you problems, I know that Rob was saying that that there are issues. So I mean, we have a couple of other announcements too, don't we?
Yes, we do. Yep.
Yeah.
And I did reveal that, we are going to keep the Thursday night live show here on our Facebooks, our personal Facebooks, as well as the Geek Insider, several of the platforms that we operate. And we will be having musical guests. We will be probably still have the occasional movie guests and stuff like that, comic book creators. And then there'll be times where it's just Meredith and I bullshitting for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
But the big news is that we are starting this Monday. We are starting a Monday show, and you can catch it here as well. You definitely want to subscribe, because this is where we will be having the bulk of our big interviews. And the reason for that is, tell them, Meredith.
Well, I'm going to say that we are in syndication under Indie Volt.
Yeah, we're going worldwide.
I say syndication because, Varian Grant has been doing a lot of work. He's got a radio station. He's got a TV station that you can find on Roku. He does comic books. He does distribution. I mean, the man is so busy, and I know that he hasn't been feeling all that well. So I really want to put up some positive thoughts for his health, and just
Krista's too.
Keep power, and just keep powering on. But Indie Volt, they were gracious enough to get Geek Speak onto the show. We're also getting Geeky, Cheeky, and Downright Freaky. Those are going to be on replay.
On Fridays.
On Fridays in the morning from 11 to noon Eastern time. I hope I have the time zones correctly. So those are going to be the replays that we've sent over. Those are some of the interviews that we've already done. We've also got the live show on Monday nights, so you can tune in with us there. And hopefully our geek audience is tuning in, and they will follow us over to Indie Volt and vice versa, because these networks, that's how they come together. If we're all kind of working in the same universe, why not help each other out? It just makes sense. And, and the thing is, we're never really clashing as far as content or anything like that. I think we've always kind of complemented each other. So it just makes sense.
And the thing is, folks, is, having another network invite us to join them is one thing. But the big thing about this is that Indie Volt Radio is worldwide, and they, on average, and I'm going to lowball this significantly, but let's say we're expecting around 60,000 listeners per show, and it's actually more than that. Probably a lot more.
I'm hoping, I never have expectations. I'm like, it is what it is. And I'm just grateful for any listeners. And Pops, I know, I see that you have a show on Monday night, and I apologize. I am not in charge of programming.
Neither one of us are.
Yeah, so we just basically wanted to make sure that we got a time slot over there to kind of take advantage of a live audience that is broadening Geek Insider. So much love to you. The thing is, when we're doing our shows, at least in the afterwards, we can watch the replays, and that is the really cool thing about that. So, Pops, it was not intentional, I swear it.
Not at all. And the news doesn't stop there, folks, because as she mentioned, they have a TV station. And so this video portion that we have on YouTube for our library and shows going forward are going to be broadcast on Roku on the Indie Volt Radio TV channel. And so we're going, I've always said I have a face for radio, and they're actually putting me on the damn TV. But it's just that,
I can only make you pretty so much, at those damn editing programs. Got to get a little better.
Right. I'm still waiting where I can swap out my face with the rocks, and then Brenda will be happy, and I can be anonymous back here. But
Well,
no, this is really exciting. Go ahead.
and before you get to the next one, let's pop in a quick break.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. You want me to grab it?
Yeah, if you got it, I can do it. I was just.
I think. Oh my gosh, we're in the wrong thing. Okay, I got it. Which one do you want? Let's do Mobile Edge.
Yep.
Check it out. MobileEdge.com has award-winning products with innovative features and contemporary, edgy designs that empower you to look sharp and travel smart with your mobile tech. Your beloved, not to mention expensive gaming gear and mobile tech devices are an extension of you, so give them the protection and style they deserve wherever you go. Find them at MobileEdge.com and protect your tech with Mobile Edge. Bring it on. Hey Geek Insiders, Mobile Edge has a special coupon code for our dedicated listeners. Get 25% off your Mobile Edge gear using coupon code GEEK25. That's GEEK25. Geek out.
All right, and we're back. So this is Geek Speak, guys. We don't have a guest tonight, but that's okay because we have a lot of announcements. Matthew, what would you say is the next one?
Oh gosh, now you're making me think I forgot something. We were just talking in the background. Meredith's like, I really think I'm supposed to be somewhere. And I mean, there's other announcements that I can't make yet. We have some stuff that's going on with some partnerships that are going to be coming up, especially for the Halloween holiday season. I'm waiting. I do know something really cool that is coming.
Tell me in the after hour.
Well, I think I may have mentioned it, but it has to do with Lionsgate Films. Let's say that, and some other cool stuff for Halloween and beyond. And so I'm just waiting. I was told that in secret, and so I can't reveal it publicly yet. But it is something we're going to be a part of as well for October and November at a minimum, and probably well beyond that. And then we've got some other cool things going on. Mobile Edge, our partner Mobile Edge, they have had, with a lot of the schools being slow to open, and of course the gaming community still being on hold. They haven't seen a lot of their products, those badass gaming backpacks being sold. And so they have added a whole new product line, and we should be getting some really cool swag here in the next few weeks from them. And of course, most of the time we end up giving that stuff away. And speaking of which, I forget what the winner's name was. I do still have your backpack. It is in a box right here. I'm going to go tomorrow and send it. I promise it's boxed up.
I think it was Shalise.
Yes, Shalise. That was it. And so you will get your prize. It is boxed up. But then I've got another thing from them sitting right here that I need to pull out. We've decided that with our prizes, folks, because we do get some cool stuff, but we aren't going to give them away with just any old little drawing. Sometimes we may do something like that if there's a part of our network that we're needing to bump up. But for the most part, Meredith and I are going to use these things however we best see fit and what may be fun for y'all.
I have the power.
Except you didn't get the $200 watch. That's going to somebody else. Meredith said she would have gotten the watch if she could tell time, though. So
yeah. Or if I care. I mean, well, that's
if you cared about the time.
I haven't used an alarm clock. I barely know what day it is. I'm like, all right.
Well,
watch. Yeah, whatever.
There's only one big reason that I usually know what day it is, and that's because my mother-in-law will ask me 3 or 4 times throughout the day what day it is. And it is what it is. So I've got, and then, or there's some days where you and I have both gone, I went, oh shit, Meredith, it's Wednesday. I got a show in an hour. And you're like, what the hell? What do you mean it's Wednesday? And as far as the geeky, cheeky, and downright freaky goes, guys, that is going to remain on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. It is not moving to Indie Vote live at this time. Now, that's not to say it's not going to in the near future. But I do advise, if you haven't checked out our past show, guys, we are over 100 videos in YouTube. These are interviews that Meredith and I have done with some really kick-ass people, man, from directors, writers, actors and actresses, uh, uh, musicians. I swear, and I was just talking about this to my mother-in-law today. Because of Geek Speak and us doing this, we have interviewed like 5 different bands, 4 or 5. There are 3 that I felt absolutely in love with, and that's Love Child, Joe Hertler and the Rainbow Seekers, and then now Sam Tenez. I'm listening to him every day.
Yeah, and that was kind of funny too, because we're like, Matthew and I are pretty, I mean, we have broad musical interests, definitely, but when it comes to new artists, it's usually hard to get us like really looped into it. And, all 3 so far have been really good. Thank You Scientist was another one. Tom Manda.
Yes. Thank
Yeah.
you, scientists. And what was cool is they were all great guests. But I got tickled yesterday. I turned on YouTube.
Who tickled you?
Well, I turned on Sam Tenez, just went to his channel, and because he's got a video for Brother, and that's one of my favorite songs by him. And then the others are either lyric videos or just the audio. But I got tickled, and I don't remember why. I totally lost my train of thought there. Because he was going to do the drawing for that game. And
yes.
So he did the release party and he did the drawing for the game, but he also sat there and played Unplugged for like an hour, and where he just said, and he was interacting. He was going into his YouTube comments and talking about the comments. And then somebody was like, yo, man, so when did you decide to stop being a leprechaun and get into music? And he just, he's Irish. He's the red beard. And he totally went with it. He said, I do like wearing green, and I love gold, but I got tired of only being able to wear green. And it was just great. And that's why one of the reasons I kind of hit you with yesterday was maybe doing another music set here very soon, where we have several of those guests back, because I would like some of them just have all of them just really have some great music. They got great talent and great personalities. They just made really good interviews. And so I'm thinking something here pretty soon of a marathon sort of kind of a virtual con kind of feel, but just music, where we do back-to-back interviews, just like old school virtual con that we originally did. And you and I sit here, and if we got to go to the bathroom, we black out for a minute and leave the other one and communicate in private chat, have our significant others refill our drinks. But that's something that I am considering, just because, like you said, we both have an eclectic and wide love of music. And so having these that come in and now have made my daily playlist, it is saying something for them, and I just want to help them get that exposure. But going back to what I was saying, folks, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, because there are many times that Meredith and I are like, let's just go live. We'll get something that comes across our desk that they're like, hey, we're releasing this Friday, can y'all do an interview? And instead of recording it and putting it out the next week, we're just like, let's go live. And so make sure that you subscribe to that, because if you can't be there for it live, it's going to be on the YouTube channel. And we've got all the different shows on there as well. We've got the Geeky Cheeky and Downright Freaky. We've got the Geek Speak, the Old Lady Geek shows, which at some point I expect will probably come back in some fashion or another.
Well, those are getting a facelift, and we're going to start migrating Lady Geek, and that's basically if Matthew can't show up, and I want to kind of go solo. But those are getting a facelift right now, and those are actually migrating over to Indie Vault for some of the older videos, and that is just to keep content going. We have such a wide variety of subjects. I mean, we do entertainment news, so movies, music, books, comic books,
We're getting
comic books. Yeah, comic books. That was the other thing, is like, that this collaboration that we have with Comic Book Advocates Network, and I thought I had the banner up here. Yes, I do here. So take a look, guys. We are in collaboration with Comic Book Advocates. And the reason why we did that is because Geek Insider has, we kind of have a small team. And comic books, the more I was learning about it, and if you guys know, I've been kind of putting myself out there as the comic noob, because I have a goal of creating a comic book, and I gave myself a 1-year deadline. So I am learning the industry. I'm learning from the ground up. I am not only trying to get my own script out there, getting a script done, learning that process, but also the business side of things. And so the more I saw of that, the more I realized, hey, Matthew, we weren't doing comic books justice over on Geek Insider, our website, but Rob Anderson does. That's all he does. And so we were like, okay, that makes sense.
And we would go.
I'm like, what if that became the comic book arm?
And we were going to the comic book conventions, and we would speak to artists and stuff. And we had done little bits here and there, but of course, for the last 6 months, the conventions have been null. But the only time we did cover comics is if one came across my desk that caught my interest, or somebody gave me a press release. You're right. We just weren't covering that comic book aspect. And we had discussed getting cosplayers. We wanted to get a cosplayers section going and building up.
We rejected that idea. But
no, we haven't.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, And
what we would like to do is find somebody like Rob that has something going that we could work together with. But all in due time.
Leo Macedo, are you listening?
Yeah, where is Leo anyway? We haven't seen him in a while. And Sarah, yes, ma'am. I do believe that the Geeky, Cheeky, and Downright Freaky would be something that you would like. We have been discussing a lot of the Mandela effect lately, but that's just because it's been popular on the channel. It's been one of the more popular shows. But we also discussed time travel, multiverse, the double slit experiment, because are we living in a matrix, UFOs, the worldwide hum. We've discussed all different kinds of stuff over there. And like I said, I do expect that we are going to go on Indie Vote probably pretty soon. But we want to get established first with Geek Speak, because Geek Speak was our inaugural show. It was when Meredith and I said, okay, let's do a YouTube show. And then we did one, and it just kind of picked up, and was like, okay, we'll put it out on podcast. And so it's just kind of blown up from there. And we've just had some really great guests. I don't know, I said go into our YouTube library, but of course there's the podcast. But just a few weeks ago, folks, we had Jay Bruchel and Jordana Brewster, which Jay has been in like everything Seth Rogen is in. And what's his name?
He played, he was the voice of Hiccup in How to Train Your Dragon.
And he was the Sorcerer's Apprentice in The Sorcerer's Apprentice. Yeah. And then Jordana Brewster, she played Paul Walker's wife in the Fast and Furious movies. She will be in the new Fast and Furious. And Jay and Jordana are in a movie that just came out today on Shudder.
Today's release.
Yeah, and that is called Random Acts of Violence. And
guys, I wrote a review on that. You need to take a look. Shudder is, if you love horror movies, go over to Shudder. Their subscriptions are very reasonable per month. You can cancel it at any time, but they've got a really good.
It's not just old
library of horror. Yeah. They've got a really good library. And so Random Acts of Violence was released today in the US, UK, and Ireland. They had an early release. I think it was in July in Canada. I'm like, Canada.
Yeah. And he was like, he just, because that's where he lives, but where Jay lives. Because Jay wrote, directed.
I think that was just a coincidence, though.
No,
I don't think he was pulling any favors. I don't know.
It's a conspiracy.
Jay Baruchel, if you're listening, we want to know the answers to that. We want to know now.
And unfortunately, they are done with their rounds of promoting that movie. I did try to get them again for the new Monday night show, but they're like, we're tired. They did a lot on this because it's a great looking movie. Meredith, you saw it, right? You got to see it. I did not watch it. And then the opposite, I got to watch Unhinged already, folks.
I know. I was like, you know what? Here's the thing, guys. Okay, so we get screeners all the time, and it's almost like who gets it first, and it sucks because we can't share the link with each other. So it's not like, oh, here's the movie link. It goes, company wide across Geek Insider. So he got a really cool one. But you know what? I love horror, and I'm so glad that I saw that because I was actually impressed. Considering that it is an indie movie, considering that it has a smaller budget than some of, especially for the stars, they had Jesse Williams who plays Avery, Dr. Avery on Grey's Anatomy, Jordana Brewster, obviously with Fast and the Furious, you know her from, and then Jay Baruchel. I can't remember the other actress's name.
I can't either.
And I would massacre it. So I'm not even going to try. But they had the man. If you like bad guys, and I want to say that it's kind of a slasher movie, but it kind of takes it next level where it's not just blood and gore and things. I mean, there are some things in there that are really that will really surprise you. And I know with horror movies, a lot of times I'm not that surprised anymore. I'm like, oh, this is going to happen. Oh, this is going to happen.
Right.
Whereas this one, I was just like, oh no, he's not going to do that. It's like, oh, he went there. So it speaks to the writing and the care that he took to put the script together and put it all together. So it was really, really cool. My review is up on Geek Insider if you want to take a look.
Yep, same with my review for Unhinged.
Yeah, and so is
same here
for Unhinged. So
no spoilers in Unhinged. But it was a great movie, folks. It comes out tomorrow at theaters, and if your theater is open and you can practice social distancing and you want to get out, I do say go see this one. If you like gratuitous violence, psychological thrillers, and just general badassery, and seeing Russell Crowe like you've never seen him before, definitely check it out. I enjoyed it immensely. Matter of fact, Brenda and I have a date night tomorrow. I'm leaving tomorrow afternoon. We're going to get a room and a pool, and we might have to go off to the theater and go see this because I really enjoyed it. And she was like, I don't want to watch it on the computer. But it was really cool. But anyway, getting back to the announcements.
Yeah, well, before you do that, I just want to give Pops a little love because he has been watching live. But he's got CromCon 6 happening. This is September 5th through 6th. This is a live streaming event that he hosts over at Comics Cast and Comics Related Madness. So he's got a Facebook group out there, comic books, comic related, all the fans. And he does a really good job of getting out there and just promoting comic books.
Yeah, he does.
CromCon, he's been doing this once a month, obviously. We're on the 6th one. He will likely have one in October as well. But it's the first weekend of the month. So mark that on your calendar. This is CromCon with Pops Van Zants. Make sure that you follow him on Facebook and give him a shout out, give him some love because he does a lot as far as promotion and stuff. So thank you, Pops, for what you do. We appreciate you. And go ahead, Matthew. Oh, you know what? Should we throw in another break?
Yeah, do one more break here and then we can kind of wrap our things up.
Yeah, hold on a second. We're going to give a little bit of love to Christian Basil. He is the voice behind the legend of the Traveling TARDIS.
This is the legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Also catch us on the HWWS Web TV YouTube channel. Subscribe today and become part of the legend.
All right, and we're back. And I just wanted to thank everybody who was popping in here during the chats. Joseph J. Vavrick, he does the cosplay. He does Penguin, like an amazing one. Pops Vanzana, obviously. Bill Ropp, is in the house. We've got Sarah. Thank you all for being here. If we missed you, if there was a watch party or something elsewhere, not where we're promoting these, we might not see your comments, but we do appreciate you if you are tuning in. Thank you.
Definitely. And just kind of a recap, everybody, in case you've tuned in late or you just kind of were halfway paying attention on the replay here. This next weekend, the 29th and 30th, we have the Indie event. That's INDEEVENT.com. And that's going on both Saturday and Sunday. And if you have a comic book or you know someone that does, tell them to visit the site so that they can get involved. Make sure you follow us on our Facebook as well. Meredith's whole video is there that explains everything that you need to know about getting involved with that. Make sure that you're following us on our YouTube, because we will be having this Thursday night show going forward, usually with a guest. Most 99% of the time we have some sort of guest. But we wanted to make the announcement tonight that we are also branching off, and we will be having an additional Monday night show that will have special guests. I'm really working on something really special that tomorrow, come hell or high water, I'm going to have something lined up for the Monday show. But we will be showing on Monday nights, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central. And we'll not only be here on our normal channels and on our podcast, but we're also going to be joining the Indie Volt radio network, where we will be listened to worldwide by tens of thousands of listeners. They will be joining in, able to chat with us and put in comments that we can discuss in real time, ask questions of the guests. And then I'm not sure how long after that show it'll show on Roku, but we will be on Roku TV on the Indie Volt radio channel. And what does that look for? Pat just did something wrong.
No.
Oh, that. Okay, I hear it now. All right. Well, let's say good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie, which is a Mandela effect. Oh,
right. Yep. See, that's another one I should get looped with. And in case you don't know what we're talking about, folks, the old thing was forever. George and Gracie, George Burns and was it Grace Kelly?
No, Gracie Allen.
Yeah, Gracie Allen. Thank you. At the end of the show, George would say goodnight, Gracie. And the whole thing was she'd say, goodnight, Gracie.
I know she did.
And now
I know she did.
It was the running joke. It was the running joke for decades. And then now all she says is goodnight. And she's never, ever said goodnight.
I don't believe
Gracie.
it. I don't believe it.
Well, here you go. We'll leave you with this one. You know that Ricky has never said, Lucy, you got some splaining to do?
You got some splaining to do? What do you mean?
Never said it. Not once.
What? See,
serious.
guys, this is what I mean. Like geeky, cheeky, and downright freaky. This is something that you definitely want to go into, because he said a few things that I know my eyebrows got raised, and I was like, what are you talking about?
She did that. What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of them, and there's many that blow my mind. There's a lot of them that I just said, I could see where I might have remembered that wrong. But then there's a lot where I'm going, what the actual hell? And that's the kind of stuff we like discussing on the show. Because like I said, before last night, folks, you could not have told me that, and I'm still a little leery on the Lion and the Lamb one, just because. But the Lord's Prayer and the various ones that Luke and I discussed last night, when he gave the explanation regarding the definitions of words and the translations, it just all made sense. It made perfect sense. And I have always been that way with anything of the Mandela effect, the glitch in the matrix, multiverse, all that, is that if I see something that makes sense, then I will dismiss it. And that's what I was able to do with a lot of those. And I can't wait to have him back, because he does believe in the Mandela effect. And we actually discussed it off the air. he has some very interesting theories on what causes it and those that are subjected to it. And so I can't wait to have him back on. I may actually even wait to see if we go on Indie Vote with the show and then have him on, because that was just too much fun. I've yet to see anyone in the Mandela community do this where they actually had a person of the cloth on discussing this stuff back and forth and being able to debate it in a courteous manner. So it was really fun. I enjoyed it. So did he. He was more than, he said, let him know the next time I want him back. Cool. And so that was really cool. But yeah, so go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, did we check off everything on our list?
I believe so.
So we've got IndieVent. So again, IndieVent.com. You're going to find the facts page. You're going to find details on how to get involved. You're going to see the schedule of events that we have already. I believe there's one more hour left on Saturday. It's the 6 o'clock one. I don't think it's been claimed. So that is first come, first serve. My deadline, you guys, for promoting your videos and things like that, your like Indiegogo, Kickstarter, your promo videos for your comic books, that is Tuesday the 25th. You've got 5 days to get that crap to me. Otherwise, you miss out on an opportunity to share your crowdfunding, but not only that, your QR code to your store, and an opportunity to sit down with 3 networks. You've got Geek Insider, Indie Volt, and Comic Book Advocates, that we are sharing this out to our compiled audience.
This is going to be, and folks, again, just to reiterate this, you're going to be talking live listeners, thousands. I'll lowball it, thousands around the world. And they are hungry for this type of entertainment. And so if you have a project going on, we're not charging you anything. Don't think that you got to pay us to come and be a part of this. That's not what, you think that, you don't know Geek Insider, because that's not what we're about.
I am literally asking you guys to send me your QR codes that go directly to your stores so that you can do direct sales. Have that pitch ready. Send me the stuff. I mean, seriously. And Rob and I are going to go into this a little bit more tomorrow on Comics Newswire, where we're going to talk about the Sunday component. Those are permanent links. Those are going to be permanent on the website. They're going to be on the playlist on YouTube, and then wherever it is that we share it out. So, I mean, seriously, this is an opportunity that is open to pretty much everyone. I mean, I don't have anybody on my blacklist, to tell you the God's honest truth,
Well,
so
I think there's that one.
You know what? There is that one. I shall not name him because I was not involved. I'm getting like third-party information and stuff like that. So, but seriously,
we just don't want to be associated with it.
Yeah, but my inbox is open to that. So there's that. So Indie Volt. That is just a huge announcement. We'll probably be a little bit better as far as actually doing like a full blown. That's going to be Monday. That is going to be our first live episode with Indie Radio.
There will be an announcement tomorrow. As soon as we know who our guest is going to be for Monday night, we will do an announcement and share it throughout the weekend on Geek Insider and our social media. Mm-hmm. We do have an idea of what section they're coming from. It's just a matter of exactly who. I am hoping for one particular name. I had crossing my fingers and dotting my I's. We shall see. If so, it'll be an awesome kickoff to the worldwide show. But we really have to thank you all that have been here every week for these Geek Speak shows and sharing this stuff out. Because of you that we've been able to get those kick-ass kind of guests, and because we've been able to get those guests, we've gotten the recognition that we're able to go on Indie Volt. And trust me, guys, this isn't it. We are super stoked to be on Indie Volt and Roku, but I fully expect that there are going to be some other opportunities in the very near future for this show as well.
Yeah, that's right.
We're getting a good. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, because we also have the podcast, whatever you're listening to now is also going to be uploaded to iHeartRadio,
Yep.
Spotify, TuneIn, Google Play. So, we're out there. We're trying to get our voice known, and we appreciate every single one of you. We would also appreciate if you hit the follow, share, and like button.
Exactly. And you know what's funny is I told you, Meredith, that once we hit that 500 on YouTube, that it would start going faster. When I
Yeah, it
looked,
is.
when I looked this morning, we'd gained like 8 in a day or 2 days, and
Thank you.
we waited a week for one, and we were like, "Come on, one," and then bam, we've gotten 8 more. But yeah, so just make sure that to stay on top of everything, folks, that you follow us on the Facebook. A lot of y'all have us on our personal ones. My personal Facebook, if you're easily offended, don't ask to join my personal Facebook. One, I rarely post there, but then when I do, I'm usually bitching about something, or I'm posting some offensive joke or something. I'm the world's worst at Facebook, and which is funny, guys, because when we started all of this, it was Meredith who hated Facebook, and I told her to get an account. And
No, I've been on Facebook for years. And honestly, I spent years trying to get away from it. Like, I literally had no pulse on Facebook. And
she said, I look at it for birthdays and to realize that I forgot a birthday.
I go to Facebook to feel like an asshole for a moment, to see whose birthday I missed, to go, all right. And then I signed off. That was it. And now I am checking in every day. It just seems to be like one of the major avenues for communication. So what was that quote? Just when I try to leave, they suck me back in. So,
Right.
It's just
when I thought I was out.
Yeah.
But we've had a great time tonight, everybody. Make sure tune in Monday night, no matter what platform, live on YouTube, Facebook, or through Indie Volt. Make sure you tune in. We're going to have something special to kick it off with. And Sarah, I was just reading her. She said, no getting offended because I'm twisted at times. Yep, same here, Sarah.
We like
Same
twisty people.
Yeah, it was what I always tell people, man, is I used to work for a Howard Stern fan site, a chat site, and you can't offend me. You just can't. I've been called everything in the book, and I've laughed at it all the way. You just cannot offend me. But sometimes that I don't have that filter between brain and mouth, and it can get
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Yes, exactly. What else we got going on? We've made all the big announcements. I did put up earlier. I put up your little thingamabob from Wild One Forever. Told everybody make sure they go over there and sign up for the mailing list so they can have a chance to win that beautiful ladies' watch. Dudes, y'all do this too. Just because it's a woman's site, you can still be on the mailing list for 2 reasons. One, you win the prize. You win that watch. That's a killer gift for Christmas that's coming up. But 2, they got some killer articles over there that if you go and read them, it's kind of like grabbing better than grabbing the Cosmo or whatever, because they talk about real shit over there and stuff that women really want to talk about. And so you can get a little insight. Sometimes you might get a little too much insight. Trust me. Especially if you go into the confession.
You guys are always saying you're confused. You don't know how we think. This is the site for you, man.
Have you been into your own little confessions area lately, though?
That is my pet project, and no, because I've been so busy with Indie Vent. But yeah. That is my pet project. I love confessions.
Yeah, guys, they got a section over there, and it's right on the main page. There's a little button you can click, and it's totally anonymous that you can do confessions. And
you can send in your confessions. Absolutely. I mean, as long as you're not doing anything illegal, because I am not a priest. And none of us, we're not priests or lawyers. So, as long as it's not illegal, we'll print it, and it's totally anonymous.
We couldn't stop the federal authorities from subpoenaing the server to get your IP number, but we don't have any contact information of yours. Let's just put it that way. But it's just really cool. It's really cool over there. And so we've got a lot of exciting things. We're really looking forward to this next week. And one thing too, this goes a little bit further. We're going to have to update this thing, but let me just show you this real quick before we get out of here. There we go.
For Geek Insider advertising opportunities, contact advertising@geekinsider.com. We offer space on the website, in the daily newsletter, sponsored posts, and advertising space on our podcasts. For details, contact advertising@geekinsider.com. That's advertising@geekinsider.com.
Because we are going to have those advertising opportunities on the Indie Vault, which means you're going to have your product, your website, your service, whatever, advertised in front of tens of thousands of people at a time. But what is this saying?
Oh, let's show that up on the big board here. What is Meredith saying in a clip that Brian K. Morris keeps playing on Nevermind the Furthermore? Oh my God, I have to know. Sarah, Brian has an updated version and you're going to laugh your ass off. I am not going to give it away. I'm only going to let you know that I voiced it and I sped it up. So I sound like I've sucked on helium. It's hysterical. That's all I'm going to tell you. I will let Brian premiere that. I think he's going to do that. If he hasn't done it already, he'll probably premiere that tomorrow morning on Nevermind the Furthermore. Matthew, I'm going to send you a clip of that. You're going to laugh your ass off. It's funny. Yeah, it was all in good fun. So we are just about at the hour mark. Any final words?
No, make sure you tune in to Geeky Cheeky and Downright Freaky every Wednesday night on our channels. And then it's usually the next Wednesday that it's posted on our podcast. Just make sure you subscribe, share it out there, folks. If you see something entertaining, you hear that we're going to have a guest on, even if you can't attend the show at that time, share it out on your networks, help us get the word out there. We have a really good relationship going with Full Moon Features. We're building one with Shudder. We are building one with Adult Swim. I've got something going on. I've got to get back with them tomorrow with another show on Adult Swim. We've already interviewed several folks from different shows on there. Of course, I am waiting for the big one. I want the Rick and Morty guys, but we will bide our time until we get there. But yeah, so just make sure that you share that stuff out, help us out. And if all else, we will see you guys Monday night on especially the first official Indie Vault edition of Geek Speak, and then we'll be back here Wednesday for my show, and then Thursday for this show. And I think that's enough shows for now, but there are more planned, guys. We own .coms, we own names of all kinds of stuff that is planned in the very near future, just for us to have some fun with and to give you guys some more entertainment. But we'd really have some cool stuff planned for the rest of the year. We're only getting started around here. Meredith followed me over a few months ago. We kind of laid out a game plan. We have played it like chess, and we're getting there. We're having fun doing it. We hope you are too. And we will see y'all next week. Sarah, you bet you. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody who's tuned in. Thank you for watching Geek Speak. Matthew, you want to hit the outro?
I will hit the outro.
You've been tuning in to Geek Speak with Matthew Harris and Meredith Lochran, a Geek Insider presentation. Subscribe to the Geek Insider podcast on your favorite listening app and sign up for the newsletter on our website. We also have advertising opportunities through the website, podcast, and newsletter. For details, contact advertising@geekinsider.com. This has been a Geek Insider production. Thank you for listening. Geek out.